Hi, everybody. Welcome to Harley on the Headlines. Thank you for joining us. I am Harley Carnes. Thank you, too, for doing those things that help other people find the show. Tickling the like, follow, subscribe buttons helps a lot, and I sure do appreciate it. President Trump is in Japan. That is going to be a friendly meeting, to be sure. Japan is a close trading partner with the U.S., is aligned with America politically, and the new Prime Minister, Takaichi, knows President Trump from his first term when she met him as a protege of Prime Minister Abe. They like each other. Matter of fact, in one symbolic gesture, Takaichi has said Japan may very well buy a fleet of Ford F-150 trucks. On Japan's streets, they'll be one of the bigger trucks on the order of Toyota Tundras and Nissan Titans. For a couple of decades now, the F-150 has been the best-selling vehicle in the whole United States. The government shutdown continues, and the impact is getting worse. Flights into Los Angeles International had to be halted for a while. They didn't have enough air traffic controllers. Now, you can tell them they're essential workers all you want, but you can't force people to work for free forever. Eventually, you can sort of bet some of them are going to take sick. In a few days, November 1st, federal food aid checks stop flowing. The shutdown is so unnecessary. The Congress has voted more than a dozen times on reopening the government. Each time, it's the Democrats who have voted to continue the shutdown. Republicans are saying, and increasingly the people are saying, it is time to stop the grandstanding and raw politics, restart the government, and get about the business of negotiating a budget instead of trying to create a barrel over which Democrats hope to force Republicans to give them what they want without working for it. Why? Because they know there is no way the GOP is going to work so hard to cut waste and fraud only to have Democrats have a hissy fit and stamp their little socialist feet and try to force spending an extra $1.5 trillion that we don't have. Kamala Harris says she just might run for president again. Kamala Harris is on a book tour. I think it's a fiction book. Tell you what, it is a good thing that Melissa is not coming to the States. She has become a major Category 5 hurricane, and she has Jamaica, then Cuba, then the Bahamas in her crosshairs. Extraordinary damage is likely. Once she blasts her way over the islands, she'll turn north, deeper into the Atlantic, where the water gets cooler, and she will lose her strength. Looks as though we'll be lucky again in the States, and it is late in the season. Shouldn't have to worry about very many more. If ice comes and agents tell you to stay put, you're going home, don't run. You could run out in front of traffic and get killed. That happened in Virginia. Of course, some will say it's ICE's fault. The people who say that have faulty elevators. Here's a couple of real winners. Erica Renee Sanders and her boyfriend, Kevin Dwayne Adams, decided it was time to move. So they packed up everything, as in everything, in the apartment in Copperas Cove, Texas, and they left. Her 12-year-old son was at school at the time. She didn't bother to tell him it was moving day. Matter of fact, he came home to a totally barren apartment. He'd been abandoned in about as cold a way as you could think up. Neighbors say that couple kicked him out in the street repeatedly. Fortunately, she's been arrested and charged with child endangerment. Copperas Cove, by the way, is a small town not far from Fort Hood in central Texas. It's not so pretty country there either. It's kind of hot most of the time. It appears we may learn a lot more about how involved the mob, meaning the major mafia families, are in sports gambling. Talking about the Gambino, Bonanno, Lucchese, and Genovese families in New York. There will be little surprise that it is the case. but there may be some shock and upset over how big it is. This particular scandal has erupted in the NBA, and several players have been taken down, as well as a couple of coaches. Players get paid exorbitant amounts of money to burn in the hands of a young man. And they do in an array of ways. Doesn't take long before they're buying fleets of fancy cars, multiple houses, and long nights at the poker table and other games of chance. If you play long enough, the house always wins. Always wins. That's the way the game works, if it's an honest game. If it's not an honest game, well, your chances go down. And if you have mobsters rigging the games, guess what? A fool and his money are soon parted. The first bust uncovered an alleged $7 million taken. A financial pipeline for La Cosa Nostra is how the FBI described it. That's $7 million, believed to be the iceberg tip involving the NBA. They haven't even talked about football yet. Time magazine has a new cover photo of President Trump for the upcoming November 10th issue. This after the president and countless people took one look at the first edition and said something like, WTF, it was a most unflattering shot. Come on, let's be real about that. The new one has him apparently in the Oval Office looking the part of a highly successful chief executive for sure. The first edition was titled His Triumph. This one is named Trump's World. Good thing his name's not Wayne, huh? And if you are looking for evidence, proof even, that it is never too late to get started, getting in shape, take a look at Natalie Gravo. She's 80, lives in Mountain Lakes, New Jersey. She says if she can do it, so can you. She learned how to swim when she was nearly 60. Couldn't swim a lick until then. She did like to run, ride bikes sometimes, and she sure can now. She swam 2.4 miles one morning recently in the ocean. Then she got out, dried off, dressed quickly, and started running. She didn't stop running for 26.2 miles, a marathon. When she crossed that finish line, she was not finished. She got on a bicycle after that, and she rode for 112 miles. She's the first woman at the age of 80 to finish an Ironman competition, this one in Kailua, Kona, Hawaii. So you're not running, swimming, or bicycling, or doing much of anything else for exercise? Really? What's your excuse? Guess that's it for Harley on the Headlines today. Thank you for being there. I sure do appreciate it, and I thank you for helping to grow the effort. Liking, following, and subscribing are just a button push away. I'm Harley Carnes, and we will plan to do this again tomorrow.